Welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you, please like and subscribe to my channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to do a full review of this monster over here. The Seiko monster falls under the STO Antarctica series. Earlier this month, I did a video review on the version that was a baby tuna, and today I'm doing this version of the monster edition. Reference number for the watch is SRPG57K1, and this watch was launched together with the baby tuna edition. And I think the special thing about this STO Antarctica series is that instead of featuring things like sharks, manta rays and whatever, for a change, Seiko is actually featuring on, smaller and cuter things. The STO Antarctica Monster is available from our boutique. It goes for about 538 Singapore dollars. If you speak to Eric at our boutique, I'm pretty sure he will be able to give you a slight discount, a good discount. And of course, I must take some time to thank Eric and our boutique for so generously loaning me all the watches for my video reviews. So let's zoom in and talk a little bit on the specifications of this watch. This is essentially a Gen 3 Monster. And so Seiko Monsters, they've gone through a few changes, few facelifts and all that. This is the third reiteration, and it does away with the shark teeth as our markers. Of course, this one here has got 4R36 movement, so it is a vast improvement from the Gen 1, whereby we've got 7S26, which does not hack or hand wind. We've got a 42.4mm case, and overall thickness for this watch is 13.3mm. That's measuring from the base of this case back here that features the Kanagawa wave to the top of the edge of the bezel over here. The crystal sits just a little bit recessed. It is a flat sapphire crystal, and it comes with this ugly looking Cyclops lens. Lug width on the Monster is 20mm, and you've got a bracelet that sort of flares out first to meet the lugs before tapering back to 20mm. And we've got a standard Seiko double full clasp here. L to L for the Monster is also very manageable. It comes in at 48mm. So despite the nickname Monster, there's really nothing monstrous about the dimensions of this watch. It is actually much smaller than many Seiko divers out there. Some more measurements not mentioned on Seiko's website. We've got a dial size of 31.2mm, and we've also got a screw-in crown, 6.8mm over here. This crown here offers very little grip, to be honest. There's no knurling of any sort, and the design over here is not exactly the best for screwing and unscrewing the crown. And of course, this watch is powered by the 4R36 movement, which I feel is an upgrade from the 7S series. I very much prefer hacking and hand winding functions. Let's move on and talk a little bit about the case design and its overall build quality. So this one here is the standard looking Monster type of case design. We've actually got a shroud here, but it is a bikini shroud because it's truncated and it protects and covers the crown. So in a way, it's like a bikini. It protects and covers the essential parts. I would say with Seiko Monsters, this design feature here is a love it or hate it kind of thing. For me, I think it's quite cool. It gives off a bit of a character to the Seiko Monsters. And of course, we've got the shark bites, the tooth marks, the teeth marks over here at the case sides. And these teeth marks here, they are very nicely done, lines up very well, and sort of blends in very well with the overall case design. We've also got really nice tapering over here, very uniform, very nice tapering. As you can see, the maximum width over here is 42.4, and it tapers downwards to the base. I would say the actual case size of the Monster is probably closer to about 40mm. The entire watch is finished with brush finishing with few pops of polished surfaces, and I think this is a really nice move because with this right mix of brush and polished surfaces sort of gives the watch a slightly more premium feel as opposed to fully polished surfaces. Again, the bezel over here is standard iconic Seiko design. We've got a really nice 120 click bezel over here. I would say the clicking mechanism here works really well, probably better than many of the entry-level prospects watches I've handled. So plenty of standout features here that defines the monster over here. The Gen 3 monster, at the heart of everything remains a monster. It's got the characteristics, right? The signature moves of a monster with the cutouts over here and this bracelet as well. I'm going to take some time to talk about this bracelet because I really like the fact that it sort of blends in very well and makes the watch looks more or less like an integrated bracelet design. It sort of flares out to meet the lux. Although it's not perfect, right? But you can see the intention over here and it allows a really clean and smooth transition from lug to buckle. Although I wish they've done with a bit more tapering. And moving on to the dial design, right? This dial here is just lovely. It is cute, it is fun. It's got a really nice frosted look starting from the center of the dial at the hand stack, and it moves outwards, eventually becomes black at the chaptering area. Very gradual, very nice. So I wouldn't call this a foamy dial, but I think the gradation here is really nice, works very well. And of course, let's take some time to admire those penguin footprints over here on the dial, closer to the 9 o'clock area. Very cute. And let's just call this one the Happy Feet series. But one thing I hate about this watch though, I really hate this Cyclops over here. And instead of the usual blob Cyclops, this one here is a candy or cushion case Cyclops. I really think it's an abomination on the dial design, right? It disrupts the flow. I really don't understand why Seiko keeps putting on Cyclops lens on the newer Prospex divers. Of course, you can upcharge your fans with the sapphire crystal and all that, but then this Cyclops here is totally unnecessary, especially for the Antarctica series, because we've got a white date disc over here, white day-date disc. It sort of blends in very well with the frosty, snowy look of the dial, but then you finish it off, you ruin it with the Cyclops lens over here, and it just looks hideous. Let's check out the Loom on the STO Monster, and I tell you, this one here really carries on the tradition of all the Seiko monsters, alright? So back in the days where 781 and 779, they were the first gen monsters, they were renowned for their super bright loom, and I think this one here really lives up to the monster heritage of super bright loom. Great job by Seiko. Here's a look at the wrist shot of the Seiko monster on my wrist. My wrist is about 17 cm, so that's 6 3/4 inches, and you can see that there is virtually no overhang. There's a bit of lug gap though, due to the fact that the case back is protruding slightly, but no lug overhang. And I would say overall wearability is not an issue at all. Let's have a look at the size comparison between the monster and other Seiko divers. First up, we've got a comparison with the Seiko Samurai, both watches on their stock bracelets. One look and you can tell that the Samurai is much bigger than the monster over here, and this is also partly due to the fact that the monster has a steel bezel. So usually when you've got a smaller crystal or bezel size, overall the watch does look a little bit smaller. And here's a comparison between the monster and the SRP series turtle. So again, you notice that the monster isn't exactly the biggest when it comes to size comparisons with other Seiko divers. I would say it is slightly smaller than this turtle over here. So all in all, a very interesting looking diver watch due to the lovely, interesting dial over here. We've got this snowy, frosty look, and then you add in these little footprints over here, making the watch so cute and gives off this really happy vibes over here. I dare say, without this ugly Cyclops, I would seriously consider getting this watch for myself. So there you have it. That was my quick review of the Seiko Monster Save the Ocean Antarctica series. This is a really good looking watch. This dial here is just fantastic. If you like this watch, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got more videos uploaded every week just for you. This is Andy in Singapore together with George and Pixie. We're gonna see you next week. Bye bye.